Literary Salon Monday, as ever. Our guide this week, Laura Hackett, Deputy Literary Editor of both The Times and The Sunday Times. How has she done it? How old are you, Laura?
28.
I mean, it's incredible,
isn't it? We bow before your great wisdom.
No, we really do. So we're going to have a couple of classics, but we're going to start with something else, which is Blank Canvas by a young woman called Grace Murray. I think she's very young, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, she makes 28 look sort of middle-aged.
Yeah.
Grace Murray is 22.
Oh, right. And she's written a critically acclaimed book.
Yes, so Blank Canvas, it's a campus novel, which I always find quite sort of delicious and fun. And it's got a very unreliable narrator. She's called Charlotte, and she's from Lichfield, but she's turned up at this New York art school.
Lichfield in Warwickshire?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And she's turned up at this New York art school, and she is telling everyone, first of all, that her father has died when he's alive and well. She says watching Pointless with a can of Guinness in his hand.
That's the life.
And also that she's from London and that she's had this exciting life. And she's kind of this interesting character who seems almost psychopathic to begin with. She says, I don't much like other people, and they've got terribly proportioned faces. But then this girl that she speaks to and tells the lie to, she starts to sort of fall for. And it's a really interesting being in her mind as the relationship between Charlotte and Karenina, as this other girl, starts to change the way that she thinks. But of course, as all this is happening, she's realizing that she's more and more enmeshed in this terrible lie that she started the relationship with. So it's all going to end badly, but it's kind of sort of deliciously wicked to be in her mind as it all falls apart.
Right. I mean, it takes quite a lot of self-confidence to launch yourself into the literary world at 22, doesn't it? It doesn't mean to say that you don't have something valid to say, but it takes courage.
Absolutely. So Grace Murray wrote this novel when she was at the University of Edinburgh, and she was also working, I think, 2 part-time jobs at the same time. So I don't know. She's got more hours in the day than the rest of us. Yeah. And she was on Penguins. They have a program called Write Now, which sort of mentors would-be writers over the course of a year. So she's had that support, and they've picked her out from she's been very young. Right. It's hard not to feel envious, but I think you should swallow your envy and give the novel a chance.
I'm chuffed for it. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, people will be interested in that right now. Is it something you can apply
I think
to?
It is. Yeah, you can. I don't know exactly when it opens and closes, but it's still ongoing, so you can definitely apply to it.
Right. And I guess you could say, well, at 22, she's written a campus novel. Write what you know. It all makes perfect sense. But that doesn't mean that she's not going to take us somewhere very, very different in 10 years or 15 years or 20, or she could go on forever, couldn't she?
Exactly. I really actually like it when a novelist sort of bursts onto the scene very young, and then you can watch as they develop. Someone like Zadie Smith, for instance, and you've seen how her writing has developed since she published White Teeth. I think she was only 24 when that came out. It's sort of enjoyable just to watch them grow up and how their writing changes.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point, actually. Right, I'm in Naughty Corner because Lichfield is in
Staffordshire.
Right. Well, you didn't contradict me.
I thought it was Staffordshire, but then I thought, I'm not going to contradict her because I've never been.
She's very old.
I've never been. I don't know.
She might be right.
I'm not the boss here. I'm just a guest.
You're a very well-behaved one. So it's out now, Blank Canvas by Grace Murray. And actually, in a way, I wish I hadn't focused on her incredible youth, because what you want is for people to pick up the book and love it just because it's a great book.
It must be frustrating. But then on the other hand, I think if I was 22 and had a book out, I'd think, aren't I great? And I've done this at 22.
Yeah. Well, it's fabulous. Well done, her. Now, A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr. Gosh, I mean, this is a real oldie, isn't it?
It's fantastic. I mean, actually, Santa brought this as a present for my younger brother, who's super into archaeology and things like that. And he was very kind and he let me read it before he got to, so I could read it when I was at home for Christmas. It's wonderful. It's from 1980 and it follows a man called Tom Birkin. It's set in 1920 and Tom Birkin is a First World War veteran and he turns up to this Yorkshire village to restore a medieval fresco on the church wall. And it's in many ways a very quiet novel because it's just about his month in the country.
Did you say it was written in 1980?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a much older book.
No, it was shortlisted for the Booker in 1980 as well.
Was it really? Gosh, okay. And there was a film as well.
There was I just discovered that today, so I think that's going to be my weekend plan now.
So that's a Rupert Everett one, isn't it?
It's got Colin Firth and Kenneth Branagh in it.
Oh,
very young. Similar.
Natasha Richardson.
He might also be in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just say he is.
Yeah.
Too many mistakes in this half an hour. Gloss over it, Laura. Move on.
So this is. How did you? Did it seem like something that was true to the mood of the time? Because obviously this is written presumably by somebody who hadn't lived through the First World War. Couldn't possibly, presumably.
Exactly. It sort of gives that sense of there are all these wounded men, not just physically wounded, but kind of mentally wounded as well. And they really find refuge in this place. And it's sort of a not so subtle metaphor that as Tom Birkin, is restoring this church, that there's something in him that's being restored as well. But what I loved about it were just the kind of details of everyday village life at that time, you know, details about people's kind of agas that they have in their house and what the vicar's house looked like and what the butcher is like to have dinner with. And I thought it was such a lovely, well done novel that you finish with a sense of melancholy because obviously it's a month in the country. He can't stay there forever.
Does he find romance?
There is a touch of romance, but I won't give away whether that is satisfied. But he develops a bit of a crush on someone.
Okay, well, that sounds like a very solid recommendation. That is A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr. I had no idea it was written as recently, relatively speaking, as 1980. Let's go a little further back to Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Now, when did you finish this?
I finished this, I think, in between Christmas and New Year. This was my sort of Christmas treat to myself.
You do dusting at home at all?
I do dusting in my own home, but when I get home to my mum and dad's, they're like, oh yes, go and read Tolstoy if you want.
Wonderful.
I first read this novel when I was in my teens, and I absolutely loved it. Immediately, I was like, this is my favourite novel of all time, and I want to have a career in books, and this is it for me. And I just thought it was fantastic. But when I first read it, for me, the thing that caught me was Anna herself and her affair that she has with Vronsky, and I thought it was so romantic, and that really, really hooked me. Whereas the other scenes, because there's this sort of other plot between a man called Levin and he falls in love with a woman called Kitty. He lives out on a farm, and it's sort of the two different love stories that are happening at the same time. I found Levin's sections at that point quite dull because he's always talking about agriculture and is he going to be out in the fields and what's he going to do with the serfs and things like that. But when I reread it, I was absolutely engrossed by Levin and from his point of view. And I just thought it's one of those books, there are a few of them that kind of grow with you as you grow older.
Doesn't that remind you of that email we had this week or last week?
Yes. I mean, what a stunning coincidence you've mentioned that, because we were thinking on our podcast, because we have a book club that runs kind of loosely every 8 weeks or so.
Laura's been part of it when we discussed
I'm
Patti Smith.
talking to the listener.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought we were talking. I forgot we were on the radio. Carry on.
Hello, listener. And we were thinking of doing a reread because we've been having a conversation about whether or not people enjoy rereading books, and Jane and I just don't. I suspect that some of that is because actually we do have to read a lot for work. I've not got a huge amount of space and time in my head for my own reading choices, so I won't go to reread a book. I think, I need something new. But we were thinking of rereading Rebecca because one of our listeners had said she'd reread it at 3 different times in her life and had completely different experiences and actually changed sides from supporting Maxim to supporting Rebecca to back again. So it's interesting that you've had such a turn in actually a short space of time because, as we've previously ascertained, you're not very old yet.
No, I mean, I did first read it about a decade ago. So I think, and I've read
I understand that's a long time in a 28-year-old's life, but for us, it's not.
Like last
Blink
week.
of an eye.
In fact, we had a rude message from Josh. Not to put too fine a point on it, you two are showing your age. I was born in 1992 and I'm 33, so 1980 does sound quite old to me. Yeah, all right, Josh. I tell you what, I wish I hadn't encouraged the listeners to interact. Better if they just keep a distance, isn't it, really?
You need to put them back in their place, I think.
Yeah. No, let's not let that happen. We've moved on from Radio 4. We're all much better for it.
Well, much happier for it, that's for sure. Right, thank you so much, Laura. Lovely to have you on. The recommendations: Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr, and the new one this week, Blank Canvas by Grace Murray. I think you'll probably find one of those three books would absolutely tick a box for you. Thank you, Laura.